Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our May Traffic and Transportation meeting. Just trying to get some of the logistics straightened out real quick. Sorry, we're starting a few minutes late. But we want to make sure we give you a quality program this evening. Just real quick, I want to welcome our members from DOT and NYPD, TD11. Thank you for showing up. This might be one of our last online meetings, right? This might miss our show. Our show is going live soon. We'll see if we get the pass for June. If they're gonna do in person or if they're gonna do a Zoom meeting. We're thinking that they will start the meetings with the new session, right? Because our budget basically, the budget year for the city goes June to July or July to June. And over the summer, a lot of things start new. So I believe in September when we come back will be when we actually go live and in person. But up to now, we have through this month where they've said that it's going to be online being available. So as always, we'll let you know, and you'll see when instead of a Zoom file number, we have an actual physical address. That means that the meeting is now in person. We got to see how we work that out with the logistics. It's going to be a little harder for the agencies to chime in, right? Because they'll either physically have to send someone to the meeting, right? Or everything's going to have to be a pre-designated message, but like I said, that's something we'll address when that becomes a reality. So, Daisy, do you have your mic on?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get the email?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, we're gonna have Ms. Perry read our community guidelines.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Daisy Perry. I'll be reading the guidelines. This is Bronx Community Board 7 Traffic and Transportation Committee meeting. The meeting agenda is as follows. On April 20, 2023, Mayor Adams issued Executive Order 387 extending the state of emergency through May 20th, 2023. Accordingly, boards are now able to continue to act under the state of emergency section of the video conferencing law.
Daisy, Daisy, I'm sorry. I don't know why, but your audio kind of seems to be coming in and out.
Should I start over? Or should I put a headset? You think I should put a headset?
No, I just want to let you know, so if you continue reading, if it keeps doing it, then we try the headset. But
I put the headset. I have a headset on now. Okay. This allows the board to continue remotely. Minutes and video recording will be made available on our website. If you are calling into the meeting on the conference controls while joining from a landline or cell, by calling dial-up number to hear all available commands, enter ** on your phone, *6 to mute or unmute yourself, *9 to virtually raise your hand. How we will run this meeting is as follows. Code of conduct for meetings, penalties and actions. Community Board 7 has the right to remove and or ask a member of the public to leave a meeting or block participation of anyone who engages in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene or offensive images or language, personal attacks, threats, or any other behavior that reasonably impedes the orderly administration of the meeting. Repeated offenses will be reviewed by the board's executive committee or any other assigned committee for a ban of the participant. The amount of time to be objectively determined by the above committees in the event of repeated disruptive behavior. If in-person outbursts or attacks continue, this will be considered disturbing the peace and the authorities shall be summoned. Everyone besides the speaker or presenter will stay muted throughout the meeting. After each presentation is over, the chair will inquire if committee members have questions. Committee members will signify that they have a question by pressing the raise hand button on your screen or request to speak through the chat or when the chair opens the floor. Members of the public who have joined through the online link will be able to ask questions and make a brief statement on the item after each presentation and after the committee has had an opportunity to ask clarifying questions by pressing the raise hand button on your screen or request to speak through the chat or when the chair opens the floor. Only those recognized by the chair of the committee will be allowed to speak during the allotted time. We will stay on topic with the agenda items. Any other items will be acknowledged by the chair in new business or addressed at the next meeting, granted there is time and the committee agrees on the topic. Following the questions, discussions, and public comment portion, the committee will begin their discussions after each presentation or agenda item and will conclude with the decision to vote on a recommendation. When the agenda is finished, the meeting will be adjourned. If there are any questions related to meeting software or to our process, please use the chat function or raise hand function now or contact the deputy district manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Daisy. I appreciate that. Moving to the next item will be our introductions and attendance. All right, Edgar Ramos, present. Eric Asensio.
Eric Asensio, present.
Thank you. Lowell Green called that she would be out. Andrew Leosa.
Andrew Leosa, present.
And Daisy Perry.
Daisy Perry, present.
All right, thank you. Okay, did everyone take a look at our previous minutes for the month of April? Did everyone have a chance to read them?
They be displayed on the screen.
Carla, can you please put them on the screen, please?
Yes, one moment. Let me just switch this.
Thank you. Carla, real quick, if you take a look at the waiting room, it's like Chad is in the meeting, but Chad's also in the waiting room for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know if he uses one to listen and one to
Okay.
talk. All right. So we're gonna take a vote on our March minutes. Motion to accept our March minutes. Edgar Ramos approved. Eric Asensio.
Have a interrupt. Quick question.
Yes, Andrew.
Committee voted on the March meeting minutes. Well, it should say for the record it was passed, or it says it was voted on, but.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put that in. I'm sorry.
Sorry to be a.
No, it's fine. I understand. Yes. I'll correct that. No, that you're 100% correct, Andrew. Thank you for that. That will be corrected on that. All right, so then we are voting for our April minutes with corrections, being the addition of the motion being approved. So Eric Asensio,
Approve the minutes as corrected.
thank you. Paul is out. Andrew Leosa,
I abstained because I wasn't present at the meeting.
okay. Daisy Perry,
I approve the minutes.
all right. Okay, Andrew, we're gonna have to go to you again. I have a question for you, right? Being that Lowell is out, right? So that leaves us with 4 members voting, right? And oh, never mind, we're good. We have three yeses and 1 abstain, three and 1. That gives us a majority of agreed. Sorry, Andrew, I was gonna go to your guideline knowledge. Okay. So our April minutes are approved. Continuing on, we have sorry, the from DOT, we had I'm sorry, Renee from DOT representative. So one of the updates we had was the utility pole on Hull Avenue and Mushula Parkway, which our friend Cyril Marino notified DOT that there was an issue with the pole doing a really bad lean. If I read the email correctly, the situation was corrected, right? Well, I saw the truck there. I know they were working on it. Cyril, do you know if they completed the work on there?
The one located on Marshalloo Parkway near the WW1 Memorial.
It was Hull, we have Hull Avenue, Mushula Parkway.
I was not there recently to verify it, so I cannot tell you yes or no.
I thought you sent a picture of the truck there by the pole.
Not that pole. They were working today at Parkside Place
Right.
and 207th Street. That one they corrected. But the one
Okay.
over here is an electrical pole because it has the yellow crosswalk sign on it and
Right.
a light.
Okay. All right.
No, that was mistaken if I said there never was a truck there working on it.
Okay. No. I misread. I saw the email that you sent about the one on Parkside Place. I assumed it to be this one, but it's actually a different one. But
Right, I'm sorry for that.
we have no, that's fine. That's fine. That was a misread on my side. But it's good to see that they did take a look at that pole and they did work on it, because the addition of all those fiber optic cables, it created a heck of a problem for it. But thankfully, DOT, I mean, for the most part, a lot of city agencies are pretty responsive when we ask
Well,
for stuff.
it was the private Verizon who owned the came in and replaced it.
Yeah, but they got notified somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finally, yeah. Well, through the grapevine.
So thankfully that was able to happen. So one of the other things that we're updating about was CV7 received a letter from DOT basically notifying us about the beginnings of the corrections for the Gun Hill bus. One of the items that was included in that was that they wanted to add a crossing signal on Bainbridge between 210th and Gun Hill. I was there recently and noticed that the light was added and is being used, and it makes a lot of sense where it's at because it's right by the Children's Hospital, and it's a safer place for people to cross. People going from one hospital to the other, or people getting left on one side having to cross the street to get to their appointments. So we're glad DOT made the decision to do that, and hopefully we'll keep that intersection safe. The DOT also contacted us in reference to loading zone expansion. They're basically adding sites within CB7. They're going to have loading zones. Also, they were moving one of the city bike sites, the one I believe on 196th Street by the church. They're moving from one side to the other, just for logistics. And also, in my walkings in the neighborhood, I started noticing the signs for the car rental spots. I don't know when they plan to get those started, but I noticed on one of the poles the indication that parking spots are for rental vehicles for the car share program. So that's going to be an interesting ad. We're hoping it goes well. Some places might be easier to do than others. I know, people drive for hours here looking for parking spots. We've got schools, we got Lehman College, we got all types of stuff, and parking spaces are at a premium. Does DOT have anything that they would like to announce, Renee?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
We have nothing to announce at this moment, but if there's any questions about anything you just mentioned, I can relay them.
All right. Just 1 second before we go into questions, just to give an update. Through the Improving Streets program, I guess, I don't know if it's a program or what they're doing, right? Basically, there's two things that are starting. One is whatever announced as far as the Gun Hill bus improvements, right? The implementation is beginning May 2023, right? The westbound bus lane, eastbound the offset bus lane. They're saying that the bus lanes on Gun Hill are going to be camera enforced, just so everyone's aware. And the new metered parking loading zones, those changes are going to be taking place. The other flyer that we have in reference to Improving Streets is University Avenue from Tremont to Kingsbridge. They're adding new curbside and offset camera enforced bus lanes, upgraded accessible bus stops, a two-way bike path, because originally they had everybody come off by Bronx Community College and go along the side streets, but they're now going to be doing a two-way bike path down University Avenue, and new painted curb space for the crosswalks and for people to be safe. So now finishing that, does anyone have any questions for DOT? You just raise your hand. Andrew, I see your hand is up.
Yeah. I want to follow up, which has been an issue for easily over a year, and that's regarding the northbound lane on Bainbridge Avenue between East 210th Street and East Gun Hill Road. That's where the Green Medical Arts Pavilion Montefiore building is there, the Children's Hospital is there, the emergency room from Montefiore is there in that one block. There continues to be, to this day, despite me always bringing this up, for anybody and everybody to listen to, the food truck continues.
Andrew, I'm sorry, not to stop you on that, because I was out there the other day and I was looking for the damn truck. I didn't see it. Can you send me a picture of that? Because I was out there and I
Sure.
thought when the street light, when they put up the street light, I kind of figured or hoped, I guess, that the food truck situation was resolved. But I was, like I said, I was up there because I had some stuff to do, and I looked around and I walked around for a little while, and I didn't see the food van that you're talking about. Not saying that it went away, obviously it didn't, but I didn't notice it that day. If you can send me a picture of that, I would greatly appreciate it, because like I said, the times I've been through there, I haven't seen it. So I was hoping that it went away. Obviously, it hasn't, if you're saying it's still there.
I have not checked since they put up the light, the
Okay.
traffic control light mid-block.
Right.
Maybe that's the magic trick. I hope. But as we know, across all kinds of congestion and the dangerous intersection there,
No,
senior
definitely.
citizen was killed there about 5 years ago. It's very dangerous. So I hope that it's there. It's gone permanently. But when I see it, I'll believe it.
All right. Thank you, Andrew, for that. But like I said, I was there. I didn't see the truck. I don't know if I may have been a day off for the truck guy. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully the addition of that traffic light maybe cleared up the area a little, or maybe somebody finally talked to them and it finally sunk in. But we're gonna definitely keep an eye on it. We're not gonna claim victory, of course, because don't know, right? But thank you for that, Andrew. Appreciate your vigilance in the area as always. Sirio, you have your hand up?
Before me, Marilyn has a question.
I didn't see your hand. Marilyn, go ahead.
Thank you, Syria.
Hi, thank you very much, Serial. You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
I just have a question. And I hope it applies to what we're talking about, or you're talking about transportation. I wanted to ask about the number 41 bus on Webster Avenue. Webster Avenue has a lot of new construction and a more denser population now. And the number 41 bus is very, very slow, very infrequently. And now, because of the denser population, the buses are packed like sardines. And I'm nervous about a tragedy happening because of it. And this is going both ways on the 41 bus on Webster Avenue. Does that apply to this meeting?
No, well, it applies to the meeting, yes, but right now we're talking with New York State DOT. It's the DOT issues. But we'll take a note of what you're saying. And
that doesn't come under DOT, Department
no,
of Transportation?
that would go under MTA. That's one of the topics, and that follows after DOT will be MTA and then MTA Transit Police. But thank you for your information.
Will it be addressed though?
I'm not personally going to go in and reload the buses, right? But we will relay the message to MTA and let them know that is an issue.
Yeah, thank you, Marilyn. Yeah, we'll be in touch with the with MTA to make sure that they're aware of your concerns, and we'll be getting back to you. I'll send you I'll put my email in the chat and my phone number in case you would like to follow up.
Yeah,
That would be great.
Just real quick, Marilyn, just to have you placed any 311 complaints in reference to this?
In reference to this, no, this is the first time I'm actually expressing myself.
Okay, fine. No, because what happens is sometimes when we go to the agencies, sometimes if we have 311 complaints or complaint numbers, we try to add it to our message when we relay to them so that they understand that, our constituents are concerned. But thank you.
I'll do that then.
All right. Okay, Sirio.
Yes, well, my question was, I know I sent you the picture with the email. What I wanted to clarify or also inform a lot of private companies are now getting those, I don't know what those big folding signs, and they're chaining them to the lampposts on the corners. And that was one of 3.
Right.
And is it under the jurisdiction of DOT to come out and get rid of them things?
Well, the one you sent particularly, right? It's on DOT property, right? Because it's attached to the to the
Lamppost.
pole. So definitely, yes, it's something that DOT would take a look at. Depending on I guess the location of the sign, some of them might be handled by the bid, like Gun Hill bid or Kingsbridge, depending where the sign is. But I understand what you're talking about, because what it is some of these businesses have other businesses inside the businesses, and rather than paying a permit fee for having a new sign in front of the place, they do what you see is those little signs to bring to people's attention that they're selling something different or new. What I can do is I know sanitation, right, I guess is the new agency that handles vendors, street vendors, right? So I don't know if that would be covered through the street vendors.
Well, these are legitimate stores. The one that I showed you, they have a
Right.
store right
Mhm.
down the block, and they think that being that they are renting the store, don't own the store, that they own the lamppost on the corner.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you're taking, but I just want to. I'm just not sure. I'm gonna. The question is gonna be asked, and I'm gonna look into it through. Like I said, that particular one is definitely a DOT thing, but in moving forward with other signs, like if they're just blocking the sidewalks, if they're making it harder for wheelchair or for the strollers to pass, then we'll address it to wherever the agency that actually handles it would be. But that one definitely we forwarded to DOT already. I did that earlier. So hopefully that they can correct that situation and talk to the business owner. But like I said, I gotta find out. I gotta find officially who is actually responsible for that. Okay. Thank you, Serial. Chad, I see your hand is up.
Yes, hi, good evening. I'm not sure if I'm at the right area, but I wanted to address if are we behind schedule with painting the lines on the streets, like the dividing line? I noticed that University by Fordham, the lines are withered away, and it's often difficult to ascertain whether you're on one side of the road or the other.
Right. The line painting people are out, right? With the change of weather, with it getting warmer, it's now viable for them to paint. I know they're currently doing bike lanes down Sedgwick all the way down to 167th, down by the end of where the Major Deegan's kind of at. So they are out there and they are painting where Fordham Road is along their schedule of painting. I guess we'll see, but they're also changing, right, from Kingsbridge to Tremont on University Avenue. They're going to be changing some of the aesthetics of it. They're going to add a bike lane. So they I guess when they do that, they will be repainting the streets. So hopefully that should correct that situation. I know exactly what you're talking about. That turn there, it's kind of funky the way it turns from 3 lanes to 2 lanes to turn lane. So hopefully when they come through and do the bus lane and bike lane stuff that they're planning, hopefully they will repaint the lines and make everything clearer for our people in the street. All right, Chad?
Got it.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Someone else has a hand up?
Hello, can you hear
Wait,
me?
Edgar, you also have someone in the chat. Sorry, Armando, you have Cynthia Hui.
Okay. I didn't see
You're
that.
muted, you're muted.
Hi, this is Cynthia. Thanks
Hey,
for
Cynthia, how
calling.
you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. I just wanted to bring to the DOT's attention, there has been a cave-in at the intersection of Jerome and Gun Hill, East Gun Hill, for over a year, adjacent to the storm drain. It's huge. and there's an orange cone in there. And I've made numerous 311 reports about that, and they keep coming back saying that the situation has been resolved. And it seems like every part of the street around that area has been repaved except for that huge cave-in.
Okay. Right, Renee?
Can you give me the location one more time?
Sure, it's on East Gun Hill Road at the intersection of Jerome Avenue. And there's a storm drain right there. And right next to the storm drain, there's an enormous hole. And it's been there for over a year. And right now, the only thing that's keeping people from falling in is an orange cone.
So did you address this before with 311? I mean, you said you did, right? But
Yeah, I did.
also DEP, might be DEP. I don't know if they're aware of what the situation is exactly.
All right, I'm sorry, not to interrupt, Renee. Just real quick, Cynthia, what I'm gonna ask for you to do is our district manager, our deputy district manager, right? Put her information in the chat.
District manager,
District
Edgar.
manager? Okay.
Yeah, I just got a promotion.
But I don't know if it's officially on paper or where, that's why I was kind of stuttering there for a second. I'm sorry, Carla. I know it was voted in. I didn't know if it was the paperwork was signed yet. But she put her contact information in the chat. If you could send her the 311 complaint numbers that you have, then we can research to see if DEP was the ones that closed them, or so we can also get the information at DOT, so they know exactly which corner it is. Is that the Van Cortlandt Park corner? Is that the one you're talking about?
It's the corner where the restaurant used to be. That's now closed.
Okay, yeah, the one they're doing construction at now. Okay.
Yeah, so it's directly opposite where the Marshalloo Hospital is. It's on the other side of the street from there.
Okay.
I do have another question.
East
Yes,
corner, southeast corner of the intersection of East Gun Hill Road and Jerome Avenue.
Yes, it's like the very first address on East Gun Hill Road. I have another question. If the DOT has any update on whether or when an electric charger will be installed in the Jerome Gun Hill Municipal Parking Facility?
They haven't.
I'm not sure about Jerome Gun Hill. I know 190th and Jerome, I believe the other garage is getting some chargers, but I would have to follow up.
The other garage actually has had chargers for quite a while. There's a flow charger on the street. Unfortunately, I was robbed at gunpoint when using it, and so I don't feel comfortable using it anymore. And if there was a charger in Jerome Gun Hill, which is where I park, it would certainly make a lot of sense. We used to have chargers there, but they were removed.
No, but they were. I'm sorry, Cynthia. I want to say about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we had the situation was that both the chargers at Gun Hill and the chargers at 190th Street were not functioning correctly, and the problem that they were having was they're saying that the technology was old, that they couldn't find someone to properly maintain them. They corrected that. I know they fixed the ones on 190th. Did they remove the ones at Gun Hill? I haven't been in that parking lot.
They did, which, on the plus side, that's really good because it created 3 additional parking spaces. But on the negative side, the city is trying to encourage people to go green. And if you can't charge your car, that's not a good thing.
The last we heard, when we were updated by DOT, was that they were going to repair it, and they finally got the repair facility that was going to do it. Because besides there, the only other place to charge your car is by Lehman College and by the Gun Hill bid office. There's another charging station.
Right. Yeah. Well, one of the issues with Lehman is that you have to feed the meter until 10 o'clock at night, right, where they put that in. Mm-hmm. But the ones on DeKalb they're very, very convenient, except it's not really convenient to be held up at gunpoint when using them.
Obviously
So-
not, no, definitely.
No, it isn't.
We want our constituents to be safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely going to, I'm gonna contact DOT in reference to that. Like I said, the last time we were updated was that they were repairing them and they finally found the vendor that was gonna repair them. But I didn't
Yeah.
realize that they had gotten rid of the charging stations in the parking lot.
Yeah. And one other thing, Edgar, for you, if you have any thoughts, if you have read the news that the Department of Sanitation is going to be
Oh, I don't
installing.
even want to give 150,000 spaces throughout the
Yeah.
5 boroughs. That.
Yeah. Because in our neighborhood, it's not a matter of, well, you don't buy a car if you can't afford to have one.
Right.
You can't buy a parking spot in our neighborhood for any price.
No, I understand. Believe me, I understand. I've been a Bronx resident for for most of my life, right? In
Yeah.
and out. And every neighborhood I've lived in is a similar situation. And some places are easier than others. Like if you live in Throgs Neck, you can find a driveway or somebody's old garage. But if you're down on Sedgwick, there is physically just no parking lots.
Exactly.
The neighborhood I lived in, literally 8 parking lots have gone away and they've all been replaced by 14-story buildings. You take away spaces and you don't add spaces. It's not. And when I heard that news, it boggled me. We definitely understand that, and like I said, we're working for. We don't know what to suggest for parking. What the original suggestion was a long time ago was to basically don't freak when I start this, right? Is knock down that Gun Hill parking lot
Mhm.
and make it bigger. Instead of being 2 floors, make it 5 stories or 4 stories,
Yep.
kind of like the one on 190th. But the agency responses that we've gotten for those suggestions is that the city's not in the business of parking lots because of the insurance and this, that, and the other. But we still suggest it and we still hope for it. And I don't know what to inform or suggest you about the sanitation thing, because like I said, I heard it and I was left speechless.
Well, another issue is that Jeff Dinowitz has done a really good job of getting the trucks removed from the service road of I-87, but now they're just
Right.
parking in the neighborhood. They're parking on West Gun Hill. They're parking.
We've
on
got them
Golden.
going all the way down to Mushula Park where they park. I've informed the 52nd precinct. They're trying to do a concerted effort, along with Dinowitz's office, along with because it's DOT traffic, and NYPD traffic and NYPD. One of the concerns that they have, one of the issues that they have is they can't do anything to the trucks, right? Because there was a problem with the parking, because the DOT lot that was originally was like on 140th and by the Bruckner, they closed that down because they're turning that into a jail. But now the traffic has a yard that they're able to take vehicles to. So they're trying to work something out, with the different agencies to try to set up if they're going to ticket, tow, or give them more options, because they're even parking on the Grand Concourse now. They park anywhere where there's enough room to fit a truck. Unfortunately, they're trying to fit a truck.
Okay, I appreciate the time that you're giving to my questions. I do have one more, if nobody else has one. Jerome Avenue between Bainbridge and West 233rd Street, the water construction that has been going on for about a decade now. The situation is really getting out of hand with the northbound traffic to the 233rd Street entrance to the Deegan.
Yeah.
The light at that intersection, the northbound light runs for 30 seconds and the other lights are 1:30 minutes. And with the construction now, only 1 or 2 cars could get through. Yeah. And it would literally take a half hour just to drive down that block because of the way the lights are.
I've noticed that the line literally goes all the way back down to 204th Street. The line. I've been in that And I understand that. You know, they say construction is temporary. That temporary construction there is like you said, it's taken a very, very long time. We'll inform them of our concern, and we'll see if they can make, you know, some adjustments or do some corrections that, because like I said, I've gotten stuck in that, and I understand that's definitely a problem.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you for giving me so much time to speak. I appreciate it.
And like I said, just reach out to our district manager with the 311 tickets.
Yep, and I have pictures too. So, okay.
Awesome. All right, I
Thank
appreciate you. Okay. And we had that other person that was
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to, when the DEP person was at the sanitation and environment, the whole parkway flooded when it rained again. There was abandoned cars by MS80, I think it's Van Cortlandt Avenue. Can DOT do something about that? Where the new bike lanes are, a lot of those, I think they're called catch basins, are completely filled in with dirt. So there was no place for the water to go. I tried to warn about it. Nobody listened. And then we were stranded in the river again. Bring back the river.
Did you fill out a 311 complaint for that?
Yes, that's what the DEP, I believe her name was Effie, said to do. I believe they cleaned out the one I did the 311 for. I said it was the whole parkway. They said they don't do it that way because it's DOT. But if you can go out there and check, all of them are filled. I don't know if it was with the installation of the bike lanes, but from the monument down to Van Cortlandt Avenue back, I do a circle in the rollerblades. All of those catch basins are filled.
If you can forward that ticket number to Carla, right? We'll address it with both DOT and DEP, because it's kind of weird. Some of those catch basins is DEP because the water goes in the pipe, right? But it's DOT because they put it in the street. So, but we'll address it with both agencies. Like I said, if you could just forward that 311 complaint number to Carla.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take it from there. Thank you very much. Chad, your hand's still up?
No, this is a new hand, so I have a new question.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone has seen any of the street signs that says no parking for ride. Please step down, please. Ride sharing, and it looks like the no parking.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
Someone silly mentioned that a little while ago. Oh wait, that was me. Yeah, I saw that sign too.
Yeah. In fact, Toby had brought one to my attention. So my question is there a plan to highlight the area so that folks know that it's a dedicated sign? And are they going to add anything to give like clarification on what to do and what not to do as a driver parking their car? Or is it too soon to say?
That it's a process, I guess DOT is working on. Renee, do you have an answer for that?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
What exactly is the question?
They've already started to install the signs for the ride share, right? As far as on the poles. So you'll see the no parking from like, I guess, north of the sign, right? And then ride share south of the sign. Is there going to be any additional street markings, pavement markings, or anything like that to indicate to people that there's been a change?
I don't think they're going to do markings for car share, but if you want to like send it to me with all the other requests, I can look into it. I think the sign on the street pole is enough.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to do markings on the street.
As far as like when does the enforcement start, or the sign is up there and it's started, or you know, that's kind of what the question is, I guess, also.
Yeah, I'm not exactly understanding the question. If you can send it to me.
No, basically, Department of Transportation has installed signs, right, on the street where no parking, you know, for opposite side of the street parking from point A to point B. So now there's a new sign that says rideshare vehicles only, right?
Mm-hmm.
When are they going to start enforcing that? When are the cars going to get here?
Yeah, I don't have an answer to give you on that right now, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Who's gonna enforce it?
Well, traffic enforces that because it's a sign, basically.
Well, the other question that came up is when it was brought to my attention is mixing my consonants. Are cars going to get towed or ticketed if they happen to park in that area at any time. Because the sign doesn't clarify.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you're aware of this, Chad, right? But basically, when a traffic agent writes a traffic ticket on a car, right? The traffic agent can make the decision to have the vehicle towed, right? Now, I'm talking about a vehicle with no tickets owed, no problems at all. If they're parked somewhere where they're not supposed to be parked, once the traffic agent puts a ticket on that car, they can boot that car for towing under the discretion of the traffic agent. Just so you're aware. I became aware of that this week, remarkably.
Wow. And that doesn't surprise me because, it's happening now.
Well, because a friend of mine got a ticket for parking where there was a no parking sign. It was a $60 ticket for parking and a no parking, but it was a $180 boot fee for the $60 ticket.
Oh, wow. That's where they get you. Wow.
And then not only that, but you got to go all the way to Fordham to under the 207th Street Bridge to go clear it up, pay your fine, and then get back there and wait for someone to come and remove the boot.
Wow.
Yeah, just everyone be forewarned. And they've been hitting all of Jerome Avenue doing that.
Wow. It's going to be a mess. Thanks, though.
Yep. But we'll reach out to DOT. We'll talk to Renee and we'll try to get a rollout schedule for the penalties and what the penalties are going to be. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, man. All right.
Serial.
A little clarification. If they use a green boot, you can pay the ticket over your phone. And when it clears, they give you it has a keypad on it.
Right.
And you can unlock it, but you have to return that boot somewhere, which I don't.
But when you have a yellow DOT.
Oh no! If it's a yellow one, you ain't getting that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The one you're talking about is the normal. That's the white van that comes around, and that's when you have those are for the scufflaw. The scufflaw ones is they go around with those. They put a lock on there, and then that combination. Once you paid your penalty over the phone, they give you the combination, and they tell you that you have to either return it. There's a couple of check cashing places that has places to return the boot. If not, it has to be returned to DMV. There's a few different return places for those. But yeah, that's a process too. I'm sorry, Chad, I see your hand up. Is it another question? Okay.
No, that was a mistake. Sorry.
That's okay. Not a problem. I just want to make sure. I'll make sure we have satisfied customers today. That's what we're all about. Okay. I think that's all we have right now for DOT. We got a question. According to the agenda, we'll be going now to MTA. I'd rather go to TD11. They've been patiently waiting. Officer Meredith, are you there?
Yes, good evening. How's everybody's doing? Thank you for actually having me today. Just a little bit of update. The 28-day period from April 3rd to April 30th, we have a total of 5 crimes. Out of those 5 crimes, 3 are closed. When we say closed, arrest was made. In total, we have 3 robberies, 1 grand larceny, and 1 assault. We did manage to close, of course, 2 robberies, the 1 assault, and 1 grand larceny. Many of these crimes are happening, of course, because many of the MTA passengers are not actually, some of them are sleeping. Then we have some that actually get distracted. They actually on their phone, they get distracted based on their phones because they're always on top of their phones. So we would like to remind everybody to try to their best to stay alert and pay attention to their surroundings. But I will be here if anybody has any questions or concerns.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for TD11? Andrew, I see your hand up.
If you're on the subway and you witness somebody acting rationally, does the police department recommend that the person, that a strap hanger or whatever, intervene and put the person in a chokehold?
I'm sorry?
Is the policy to recommend that a citizen who's on the subway, who is witnessing somebody acting erratically, is it recommended that the citizen intervene and perhaps, for example, put that person who's acting irrationally into a position on the floor in a chokehold?
We cannot recommend that, but I could recommend for our MTA passengers to contact 911.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other questions for TD 11? All right, so just to kind of reinforce what Officer Meredith was saying, right? TD 11 was also at the 52nd Precinct Council meeting, and you know, a lot of crimes are, you know, they say crimes are opportunity, right? So if they see you sleeping, they're gonna try to get what you got. You know, there's a lot of situations where people are getting their pockets cut to get their phones out, or you know, because all they got to do is follow the wire, right? Because you got the headphones on in your head, they watch the wire and they see the wire goes to your pocket. So guess what? Now they know where your phone is. So you fall asleep and they know exactly which pocket to cut if they want to get your phone. So you know, be attentive when you're on the train, when you're in the subway. It's the same way when you're walking down the street. I mean, there's a lot of snatch and grab robberies going on the Grand Concourse, and a lot of places where people are walking. People are coming by on the scooters. They'll just grab your chain. They'll grab your purse. They'll grab your wallet. Whatever's available, you know. And it's all unfortunately, you know, it's a society that's developed, right? There was a time where you'd fall asleep on a train and you'd end up in Brooklyn and all the way back home again, you know, 3 hours later, but you got home safe and with everything in your pockets. Nowadays, you know what, I wouldn't recommend falling asleep. You know, when I went to Pace University, there were many a nights, I woke up at Mushula Parkway, or I woke up at the end of the line, you know, and just have to wait for the next train going south. Like I said, I don't recommend that anymore, and ask everyone to be, you know, vigilant, you know, and if you see somebody that's falling asleep or that looks like they might be a victim, you know, give them a little nudge, you know, make a noise, wake them up, you know, try to look out for the next person.
Yes, correct. Just to piggyback on that, thank you, Mr. Ramos. Of course, every time I see somebody that is sleeping, honestly, I will be honest with you, I do try my best to wake them up. And sometimes I know they give me attitude, but you know, I'd rather take the attitude than anything else. I'd rather you or Lee's have you end up with your properties than something happening to you down the line. But yeah, some people do get aggravated. But of course, I do understand you having a deep sleep, you know, especially during rush hours. But the best thing we could do from our ends is to wake you up.
All right. We have any more questions for transit? Okay. Seeing no hands, Officer Meredith, thank you again for what you do, and be safe out there. And we'll talk to you next month. Like I said, as of now, we're scheduling our June meeting to be a Zoom meeting also. If for whatever reason that changes, when the schedule goes out, you know, if there's a location, the location will be on the agenda.
Excellent.
Thank you again for all you do.
Not a problem. Thank you again for having me. If anything, so I will share some of my contact information with you, because I will be going on vacation soon. And I have one of the following week, and then I'm going back in June for my birthday. So I will be out for a little while.
Right. Okay. No problem. Thank you very much. As I'm not Sergeant Batts, right? He's been our backup guy, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So,
Sergeant Betts.
Oh, Andrew, I see
Quick
your hand is up.
yeah, is the transit division also contemplating moving to a 4-day work week like the NYPD?
Yes, we started the pilot program actually like 2 days ago.
Wow, is the transit, or just the TD11?
No, so since it's a pilot program, so far right now from transit is only TD11. But the whole goal is to, to propose it to everybody else, so all the precincts. There's only a few precincts, not all precincts. It's a pilot program.
Because basically what's happening with that is, Andrew, just so you know, the staff is on a 4-day week. The agency is not on a 4-day week, right? Because the different offices cover different days. So you can still put a police complaint in 5 days of the week, but the officers are the ones that are going to be working 4-day tours rather than 5-day tours. Is that correct, Officer Meredith?
Correct. Well, you are welcome to, of course, we are still open 24/7.
Okay. Okay, so one of the things that we were gonna have MTA come on to talk about was some of the budgetary items that we put in the budget requests. And what they did was they kind of got back to us and answered us online because they knew they weren't going to be able to make it for our meeting. So one of the expense things was was in reference to the improvement of is the train the I'm sorry, the increase of ability to like the Moshulu Parkway train station. There'll be that's in the works. They're actually coming next month to our meeting in reference to talk to us about the scheduling. Hopefully they'll have more answers. That's been a part of their plan to make it accessible, but there just never was a date. They wanted to complete some other projects first before they started a new project. So that it's still on the list, it's still on the books, it's still coming. Like I said, hopefully when they come next month, MTA will have specific dates on when they will be able to start the installation of those elevators for us. It's been long waited for. And we hope it does come soon. But some of the requests that was put in was one second. All right, so the request was to improve accessibility of transit infrastructure by providing elevators, escalators, etc. Like I said, that's the one that they will be coming. The MTA has a project, capital improvement project, and they will be coming with more information for that one. Another request we have was to improve subway station or train cleanliness, safety, and maintenance. The response to us was over the past couple of months that they have been doing major cleaning and rehabilitations on the stations along the B, D, and 4 subway trains within District 7. We've seen some of those improvements. I haven't seen everything that they've done, but they have been making a difference. Another request was to provide new bus service or select bus service. This is to add a select bus service from Fordham Road going to LaGuardia Airport. The response from MTA was they understand that it's been a long time request, and they were going to be talking to their mapping and scheduling people to see about installing that. The other one was to expand subway service frequency or hours of operations. Their response is more information is needed from the community board before making a decision. The neighborhoods in our district are experiencing a substantial increase of people and passengers. So that's going to be something that they're going to address. But they did respond to us in reference to that. Does anyone have any questions? Andrew, go ahead.
I missed the other meeting, so I don't know. Do we have any idea which bus route in the Bronx will be picked as the pilot program for free bus fares?
I don't remember that. I haven't seen anything of that being announced. So I wouldn't be able to tell you. We wouldn't be able to tell you. That's something we could definitely ask MTA when they come next month. Is that Andrew?
Thank you.
Okay. Chad?
Yeah, so I guess regarding cleanliness, I don't know if anyone can take this to the MTA, but perhaps something can be done to address the excess food trash that's left on the buses. One of the things that I noticed is that at the end of the routes, the buses don't get cleaned, and more people leave their food stuff on the bus, and what happens, it brings roaches. In fact, there's always roaches. Yeah, I know. But to be serious, I know in the back of the buses, I think it's becoming more of a nuisance now for riders. I'm just hoping someone can address that with some kind of action plan or something.
Have you filed any 311 or 511 complaints on that?
I've tried, and I've gotten some technical difficulties with it. Just being honest.
Just because if you had, we could get that information to Carla, and then we could address it with a couple of 311 ticket numbers attached to it. Those always seem to get a little more better responses. But we'll definitely let MTA know about that.
Got you. Thanks.
Because I know, like I said, I know on the subways they kind of address that. They got the cleaners at the end of the routes. I don't know what they've done for the buses. The bus drivers, I don't know how responsible they are for cleaning the buses. But I do know there's a lot more trash out there. But we'll definitely address that with MTA and see if we get a response.
Yeah, and the other thing that we probably should recommend is extermination, like how they do in buildings. That could be another thing that we can suggest, because you can clean it, but then if the food is gone, but the vermin is still there, they'll still come back out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, no problem.
Any other questions? All right. Hearing no questions, do we have any suggestions for our June meeting for topics? Sergio?
If it's possible, I would like to revisit the Marshalloo plan that they did. And will they be handling the east to west problems that we submitted during that meeting that we had about the Marshalloo Parkland, especially painting out the crosswalks into going from the service roads into the Marshalloo Parkland so that people can cross safely and have somewhere to cross without passing blocked cars. and going across east to west and west to east along the broken down roads that are there on Bainbridge or mostly, I believe, like Whole Avenue and when it turns to Maryland, that flood every time it rains. I sent
Mhm.
it. So I would like an update on that.
Well, we're hoping that that's going to get addressed, right? Because one of our other constituents brought that up, and they actually got something done, right? But they at least cleaned one. Like I said, hopefully we'll address it with both DOT and with and DEP, and hopefully they'll put an action plan to get them all done.
So they put in the sidewalk that's near MS-80 and the bike lane went in because they put in a brand new sidewalk.
I saw the sidewalk at Van Cortlandt Park South. I saw that because on the one side of there was a sidewalk so you could cross on the east side, right? But there was nothing but grass on the west side, and you could see the burn marks in the grass of people trying to cross over there and people getting stuck in the mud when it rains and stuff like that. So I did see that they did add a sidewalk and took away a traffic lane on Van Cortlandt Park there because they didn't impact the parkland. It looks like they took away a lane of traffic. So I did see that get installed. I'm not sure. DOT hasn't come to us with any updates yet as far as what else is coming or what else they're doing there on Mushula Parkway. Because there was a long list of things that they wanted to do. But we don't know if Gun Hill is preceding that with the changes and stuff that they got to do there. Because there's budgetary issues and time issues, right? Because they've got to have the money to do it, and they've got to have the equipment and the time to do it. So we'll reach to DOT about that and see what they say.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sergio. You have another hand?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Similar to what Mr. Serio said, I believe it was the Marshalloo Safety Improvement Project. They said there was only going to be the one crossing where they installed it. Then they did the new cement down from MS-80. Supposedly, the last phase of that is from the bike lanes, extending it from Hull Marion to the monument down to Botanical Gardens. The not center median where it disappears, it's just like blacktop. They're doing the cement for that now, and I believe they're building it out and down because there was a sign saying like construction starts. But I don't believe there's another crossing in the middle. If the board can like follow up on that. They presented like it was in one of the emails, like a slide package, and it said like each phase, and that was the only like cement besides the one in front of 80 they're doing now, then the cement over here. But yeah, I'll try to find it for you, Mr. Zero. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night. We have anything else for our June meeting? All right, not hearing anything. I guess we can move to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to end the meeting.
Thank you, Andrew.
I second.
Thank you, Eric. All those in favor, say aye. Any oppositions? Nay. All right, hearing no nays, we adjourn our meeting. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Hope to see you all in June. Everyone enjoy their Bronx week, and have a positive month. Thank you.